Hey besties, welcome to your favorite podcast with Lita and Shabana. We're so grateful for each one of you for sending us your stories. We'll get into a nice story today and share with you guys.
Your stories are all so beautiful and so raw, and we would love to share all of it. But today we're going to share one that's very eye opening. So I'm just going to get started with the story because I honestly love this one, but I also felt so bad. I'm happily married to the love of my life and have three beautiful children. My husband is very family oriented and I love that about him. But his family takes advantage of that. They are a big family and always have gatherings and they expect us to always host because he's the eldest son. Now, I don't mind hosting, but my issue is fairness. Everyone should take turns. I've tried to bring it up in different ways, but they just brush it off like we are obligated to do that. I work full time and take care of the kids, but somehow I am still expected to have the house spotless and ready whenever they feel like coming over. It's not fair. My husband is the eldest, yes, but there are two other brothers and two other sisters that could also step up. Okay, now that pisses me off. That's pissing me off. I'm pissed off right now.
Oh, I agree. Like, why is it always the eldest kid who has to take a lot of responsibility? I think once you're married, you have your own place, your house. Everything should be equal among all these siblings.
Exactly.
Like, it's just not fair.
I don't get this ideology of eldest child needs to do this, eldest child needs to do that. And it's not only like just the eldest son. In some families, it's the eldest daughter. No, thank you. Just because you decided to have a child and that child happened to be the firstborn does not mean anything. It doesn't mean they should carry all the responsibilities on their shoulders. And in this case, the poor wife is suffering.
And poor girl is working full time, has three kids, and they all expect her to do this. Like, don't they feel bad for her? Like, I'm feeling so bad for her
I don't think they
already.
feel bad for her because there's four other people in this family and they've been doing this. If they felt bad for her, they would have equally divided it. Maybe do more bigger events at the older brother's house, but like these casual gatherings should all be equally divided. There's five of you guys have every if you're meeting every week, if you're meeting every month, that'd be once in a month you would have your turn.
And if this was their own daughter, they would not like it. It's like always someone else's daughter who has to suffer, who has to be that perfect daughter-in-law, and it's just not fair. They would not like their own daughter hosting for all this. Like they would lose their mind.
Yeah, or even if the daughter-in-law was doing this for her own family, I'm pretty sure they'll call their son and say, "Hey, like, aren't you tired? Don't they have a life? Tell them to stop coming." I am very sure that would happen. It's crazy because people want their own comfort and they want their own comfort for their own circle of family. They don't want it for, someone else's daughter, someone else's son, someone else's so and so. And it's not fair that the one couple is holding down the fort while there's so many other in the family. So this needs to stop. The other siblings need to step up.
Here's the problem. It will not stop until she stands up and says that's enough.
Well, here's my piece of advice for you, girl. Build up your courage and stand your ground. Just say no, I can't do this. Message in that group chat and just say, I'm busy, I don't want to do this, or I can't do this. Call out names. Maybe you should call out names. Maybe put them on spot. And trust me, they might all say no, but do you think the four of them will all be able to say no? And if they all say no, then say, you know what, you guys are all busy. Maybe we need to do less of these gatherings. And then keep doing that. And then maybe it will change.
Exactly. They won't stop this because now they're so comfortable because they have been doing this to you for the longest time now. You have let this happen to you. You have let them do this to you from the beginning. So it is hard now, but you have control over this to stop it.
And that's the problem with expectations and with some cultures. Once they expect something from you, it doesn't go away. It just keeps increasing, increasing, increasing. And the minute you say no and you stop, toba.
You have probably done 10 million things to please them, but that one thing you're going to say no, they will get on you and say like,
She's the worst person. She's the villain.
she's the worst
She doesn't like us
person.
anymore. She's changed. Seriously,
Like,
you
why did this happen?
Yeah.
All of a sudden they hate you. Like, I'm sorry, but they
Yeah.
will because
They're gonna talk shit
you
about
don't, yeah, you don't meet their expectation.
Yeah, man, some people are just so ungrateful. They don't care what you have done in the past. All they care about is their own comfort. And the minute you put them in their own spot or they feel uncomfortable because you put yourself first, then it's over.
Fairness doesn't mean you don't love your family. In some cases, it could be the eldest child being like the manager of the family.
I've seen that a lot.
And in some cases, some families It also could be like the middle child or the youngest child being the more responsible one. Everything carries on their shoulder. Like it's how the family just treats that sibling.
I know it. I've actually seen that too, that, the eldest child is just in their own world. They're
Yep.
so focused on their own family or on their own life. And it's the other sibling that takes responsibility and takes charge. It's just not fair, regardless of who this, responsible individual in the family is or who the manager of the family is. All we're saying is it's got to be equal, it's got to be fair.
You know, in our culture and some brown culture, it's like the boys have to take responsibility for the family. The girl's married, she has her own life. Let's not bother them.
Yeah, it's like they're someone else's responsibility, and we don't have to let them do this and that. But I don't see it that way, and I do not agree with that. That's not the right way of doing things. Like, as a parent, I only have one child, but I know that eventually when I have more kids, if I do, I will love them all the same, because you go through the same,
Pregnancy and delivery for
exactly,
all your child.
for all your kids.
Yeah, you
You
should
raise
expect the
them
same
like
from
you have
all of them.
you have two kids, right? Like, you treat them equally. You drop
Yep.
them both to school, you
Yeah.
wake up, you feed them breakfast, you feed them their
You go
food,
through the same thing for all your
everything you
kids.
do, and you
Yeah.
love them equally.
Yeah.
Obviously, each child has their own way of loving you back and
Personality.
personality, and you may like their personality a little bit over your other child. But what
Absolutely.
I'm talking about is, as a parent, you do equally for all of your children, and at least I would hope most parents do that. I've seen it that way. But so why can't these children equally be responsible for their parents? I know, though, in some families there are some siblings who just love being that caregiver,
The
who,
manager of the house.
yeah, and they just
Yeah.
want to be, there for their family. They want to be there for their parents. They want to, host a lot. They want
Yeah.
to bring the family together. So by all means, that's great. But even to that, I don't agree, because maybe they like doing it, but maybe they will be tired one day. So all siblings need to step in.
I think even if they like it, I'm so sorry to say this, but their partner might not like it in most cases, right? Because they will get tired.
Yeah,
Like
that
they
that
might
could
enjoy
happen.
it, but their partner will be like, "I've had enough of your family."
And
Like
you don't
this
want it
is
to get to
it.
that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't
Yeah.
want it to be like,
And it should be equal. Like, if you're doing certain things for your own family, then you have to do it back for your in-laws too. Because as much as you love your family, then you have to know that your partner has their family too. So you have to keep that balance. And if you're gonna host your family every week, are you gonna be able to host your in-laws like in between as well? Then all you're doing is hosting and just draining yourself.
girl, you need to smarten up and talk about this clearly, because if you don't, this will only continue and their expectation will increase.
Exactly. And as they haven't said anything now because they're comfortable, and you have allowed them to be comfortable while making yourself uncomfortable. It will just continue, and they're not going to stop. And maybe when you start calling them out, maybe when you start pushing it back on them, this whole thing might even stop.
And you know what's important? Your own little family.
Yeah.
Focus on that, because you don't want your kids to see you and you don't want them to be raised up like you and do the same thing and carry the generation thing over.
It is a generational, I don't even know, problem,
Yes,
right?
it's a
It
cycle.
is a cycle. Like, somebody does it, and then they pass it on, and they pass it on, they pass it
Yeah.
on, and we are the generation that needs to stop these
We
things.
need to break this thing.
We need to break the cycle, like, end.
Let's go. We got this, girls.
Seriously. And like I said, I know you mentioned this in your story too. You like hosting. Continue hosting, but whenever you want to do it, and if it's fair and if it's equal.
Or maybe what you can do next time is invite yourself over to their house and try to host that party in someone else's house so they know how it feels. Seriously, that's how they're going to stop this.
Sometimes you just need to make people realize what they have done to you. Once they realize it themselves, then they might know that maybe this is not right.
And you know what you should do? You should put people where they belong.
Give them the same energy you get. You don't need to go extra. Don't go above the mile. No one's going to give you an award for it. No one's going to care at the end of the day. You're going to be drained. You're going to be burnt out. And you're going to suffer within your family. Your kids are going to suffer. Your husband's going to suffer. And then who will take care of you?
You got this, girl.
So we really hope this episode has helped you and may have opened up your eyes a little bit. So thank you so much for watching us all the way till the very end.
Let's make the community a little bit bigger. Please subscribe to our channel, share with your friends. Until then, see you next week.
Don't forget to give us a like on YouTube as well, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll see you guys.